Another thing we need to be able to do is to support users who are not using a mouse to navigate the website or application. What we want to do is be able to support using the keyboard. There are a variety of different reasons why you might have someone in this situation. So one situation is you might have difficulty in movement. So it's hard to do the fine motor control for a mouse. One reason is just some people like to stay on the keyboard and do things. So kind of along with keyboard shortcuts, they can just navigate and do it all from the keyboard. A third might be a person with visual challenges where they are using a screen reader we're going to talk about later. So they are navigating solely around just with using the keyboard. The things you want to be able to do is to navigate, and in particular, you want to change the focus. The focus has to be visible. We have to know what is focused, and we have to be able to see that, again, with a proper amount of contrast, so that if someone has difficulty seeing, they can still make out where the focus is. We need to be able to move the focus. Pressing the tab key is the way we normally do that, tab and shift tab, to move back and forth. Everything needs to be reachable. So everything that can be operated on needs to be reachable from the keyboard. Let me just give you an example. Let's go back to California DMV, and let's back up here and hit tab. And here we are in the DMV's website. So we can see it's a little odd because the order of this focus is weird. So the first thing that got focused was the sign up. Notice it's nice and easy to see focus there. But then the next thing is skip to content. Skip to content is a really handy thing to add when someone is navigating by keyboard. Skip to content allows someone to basically skip over everything in the nav bar. If I hit a space right now, it jumps down to the main area. If I go back and just tab through that. So what's selected is this c4.gov. I don't exactly know what that's going to do. That's basically just a link. This is a link. We have our menu. So with a menu, I can open the menu with a return. Then I can use tabs within menus to move my way, tab and shift tab to move my way through. An escape should normally take me out of the menu. In this case, the menu control is how I get out. I have to actually shift tab my way up to the menu and then hit the return. And then I can keep tapping. And basically what I'm tabbing through is every link and every button. So anything that can be operated on. Do note that if you're using Safari, you need to actually set a particular preference in advance, which is press tab to highlight each item on a web page. Otherwise, it won't tab through everything. If I go into Reddit and just look at an example, I will go back to a smaller font size. Let's say we just refresh Reddit. Here I am in Reddit. I hit the tab key, and the first link that happens is I can jump to the content. Again, a way to skip past all of this nav bar. If I do go through the nav bar, I can see right now I've got this guy selected, and it's fairly clear. Here, slightly less clear. This does not seem to have a border that's quite as thick as this one. So this is a thicker blue border. This is a thinner blue border. Admittedly, we also have the insertion bar there, which is helping a little bit, but this is not quite clear. And then if I go to the login button, that login is not very different, right? I've just got some shading in the background. And if I go to sign up, that's even worse. Sign up, I can barely see the difference. And now I'm here on this person, and that's even worse. So what happened is I've got the border is just becoming slightly darker gray. I hit the space bar or the return key to make the button do its thing, and then I can click through and go through tab and shift tab. If I go, for instance, to the night mode and hit the space bar, I'm now in the night mode. Let me go back and turn off night mode because I hate night mode. As I'm tabbing through, I get to see I can operate on anything that basically can be done read it here. So I have the up arrow and the down arrow, which I believe is upvoting. It's funny, I've been a Reddit user for so long, but I never upvote. I just am a lurker. This ... is a menu, so I can hit the space bar to bring up the menu. Arrows, up and down arrows, scroll up and down. So that's not how I iterate through the items in a menu. Instead, I use tab. And escape will get me out. Again, everything that can be operated on, links, buttons, any sort of controls, are visible. When I'm focused on them, they're visible. So I can see that that's where the focus is. The focus can be moved. Everything is reachable. There's management that happens if I bring up a dialogue that may need to change what has the focus. So normally if you've got something where you need to type, it'd be good if that is focused. The user doesn't have to hit a tab key to make that be focused. Skip to content link is always very useful as the very first link in a web page. By the way, as well as being movable, it's important that the order makes sense. So as I tab through the web page or application, it should go in a logical order. I don't want to tab from something on the top, let's say the footer and something's in the bottom, and then the middle needs to be in logical order. And the way that that logical order is specified by default is just the order and the HTML that's emitted. The order in which controls and links occur in the HTML is the order that you will be using as you tab. It is possible to specify tab indexes in either CSS or in the HTML to override the natural ordering, but it's probably best to just go ahead and emit the HTML in a natural ordering. For activating buttons and links, the key here is that links you activate with the return key, and buttons you can activate with either the return key or with a spacebar.